You wake before sunrise, the air is cold and your stomach is already reminding you that breakfast will not appear with the press of a button. Every calorie must be found, gathered, hunted, or earned through patience. For almost all of human history, this was the only way your ancestors lived. Every meal shaped not only their bodies, but also the remarkable organ inside their skulls. Modern humans often think of intelligence as something that simply evolved over time, but evolution is never free. Bigger brains demand enormous amounts of energy, and for millions of years, your ancestors faced one defining challenge: finding enough food to fuel one of the most expensive organs in nature. Today, your brain makes up only about 2% of your body weight, yet it consumes roughly 20% of your resting energy. That extraordinary appetite raises an obvious question. How did ancient humans ever afford such costly brains while living in unpredictable environments? The answer lies hidden in countless meals eaten across grasslands, forests, rivers, and coastlines over millions of years. Scientists have debated this mystery for decades. Researchers such as Richard Wrangham have argued that cooking transformed human evolution by making food easier to digest and allowing more calories to be extracted from every bite. Leslie Aiello and Peter Wheeler proposed the expensive tissue hypothesis, which suggests that shrinking digestive systems freed energy for growing brains. An expensive tissue simply means an organ that requires large amounts of energy to maintain. Archaeological discoveries from sites like Kubi Fora in Kenya, Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, and Gesher Benot Yaakov in Israel continue to provide clues about how changing diets reshaped human evolution. Imagine walking across an African savannah nearly 2 million years ago. The landscape stretches endlessly beneath a hot sun. There are no farms, no supermarkets, and no guarantees. Every day begins with uncertainty. Will today's search uncover edible roots buried beneath dry soil? Will ripe berries still remain on distant bushes? Will scavengers reach a carcass before you do? Your ancestors rarely relied on one single food source. Instead, survival depended on flexibility. That flexibility became one of humanity's greatest evolutionary advantages. Plant foods formed the foundation of many ancient diets. Tubers, roots, bulbs, nuts, seeds, fruits, leaves, and wild legumes provided carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Digging sticks became valuable tools because nutritious roots often hid underground where drought could not easily destroy them. Some roots stored starch, a complex carbohydrate that slowly released energy throughout the day. Others supplied essential micronutrients that supported healthy development. Could a simple root buried beneath the soil really influence human evolution? Indirectly, yes. Reliable food reduces starvation. Consistent energy supports larger populations. Larger populations encourage cooperation, innovation, and cultural learning. Yet plants alone probably could not explain the dramatic increase in brain size seen in the genus Homo. Something else entered the menu. Meat changed everything. Early humans were not always powerful hunters. For hundreds of thousands of years, they likely scavenged carcasses abandoned by lions, hyenas, and other predators before gradually becoming increasingly skilled hunters themselves. Stone tools discovered at archaeological sites show cut marks on ancient animal bones. These marks reveal that humans removed flesh, cracked bones, and extracted nutrient-rich marrow. Bone marrow is remarkably dense in calories. Fat contains more than twice the energy found in carbohydrates or protein. During seasons when edible plants became scarce, marrow may have acted as a crucial survival food. Picture a small group gathered around the remains of a large antelope. Heavy stones smash thick leg bones open. Inside lies creamy marrow packed with fat and nutrients. Every child watches carefully. Every adult understands its value. Nothing is wasted. Large brains require consistent energy, and animal fat offers one of the richest energy sources available in nature. Researchers also point toward organs that many modern people rarely eat. Liver, kidneys, heart, and brain tissue contain vitamins and minerals that support neurological function. Vitamin B12, iron, zinc, and other nutrients are particularly abundant in animal foods. While no single nutrient magically enlarges a brain, together they contribute to healthy development over generations. Another surprising source of nutrition came from water. Coastal regions, rivers, and lakes offered fish, shellfish, turtles, and aquatic plants. Marine foods contain omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA, which plays a major role in brain structure. DHA is a long-chain fat that helps build and maintain nerve cells. Some scientists believe that regular access to aquatic foods may have supported cognitive development in certain human populations. Sites along ancient shorelines reveal shells accumulated by prehistoric people tens of thousands of years ago. Blombos Cave in South Africa preserves evidence not only of shellfish gathering, but also symbolic behavior, suggesting that coastal environments may have provided dependable food while allowing more time for creativity and social interaction. What happens when finding food becomes slightly easier? Time appears, time to teach children, time to improve tools, time to share stories, time to strengthen relationships. Food does not simply feed muscles, it creates opportunities. Perhaps one of the greatest turning points came with fire. The earliest controlled use of fire remains debated, but evidence from sites such as Wonderwork Cave suggests humans were using fire around 1 million years ago. Cooking changes food in remarkable ways. Heat softens tough fibers, breaks down starches, kills many harmful microbes, and makes chewing easier. Cooking essentially begins digestion before food even enters the mouth. Richard Wrangham argues that cooked food allowed humans to gain more usable calories while spending less energy digesting them. Imagine chewing raw meat for an hour compared with eating roasted meat that tears apart easily. The difference affects how much energy your body ultimately receives. Cooking also transformed social life. Evening fires gathered families together. Food became shared rather than individually consumed. Knowledge passed from one generation to the next. Language may have flourished around these moments of collective eating. Could dinner have helped create civilization? Not civilization itself, but perhaps the habits that made complex societies possible. Sharing food builds trust. Trust strengthens cooperation. Cooperation increases survival. Modern hunter-gatherer societies provide valuable insights into these ancient patterns. Anthropologists, including James Sussman, Richard Lee, and Polly Wiesner, have documented how food sharing remains central to many foraging communities. Successful hunters often distribute meat widely throughout the group instead of keeping everything for themselves. At first glance, this seems irrational. Why surrender valuable calories? Because generosity creates insurance. Tomorrow another hunter may succeed while you return empty-handed. Sharing reduces risk across the entire community. In evolutionary terms, reliable friendships can become just as valuable as reliable food. Children benefit, elders survive, knowledge remains alive. A growing brain depends not only on nutrients but also on learning. Every edible plant must be recognized, every poisonous mushroom avoided, every migration pattern remembered, every season anticipated. Human intelligence evolved within networks of shared information. Food and culture became impossible to separate. Another fascinating discovery concerns chewing itself. Compared with earlier ancestors, modern humans possess smaller teeth and weaker jaws. Softer diets produced by cooking and food processing reduced the need for massive chewing muscles. Some researchers suggest these anatomical changes may have influenced skull structure, creating additional room for expanding brain cases. Evolution rarely changes only one feature. Everything connects. Diet changes anatomy, anatomy changes behavior, behavior changes survival, survival changes evolution. Ancient meals were never perfect. Starvation remained common. Drought destroyed resources, disease spread, injuries prevented hunting. Infants faced enormous risks. Human evolution was not a steady march toward bigger brains, but a continuous struggle against uncertainty. Your ancestors often walked enormous distances searching for food. Some days ended with abundance, others ended hungry. Would you remain optimistic after 3 unsuccessful days of searching? Your ancestors had little choice. Persistence became another form of nutrition. Modern nutrition often emphasizes individual foods described as superfoods. Ancient humans probably viewed food differently. Diversity mattered more than perfection. One season emphasized fruits, another relied on tubers. A successful hunt shifted diets dramatically. Coastal groups ate differently from inland populations. Cold climates demanded different strategies than tropical forests. There was no universal prehistoric diet. There were countless successful diets shaped by local environments. That flexibility remains one of humanity's defining characteristics. Archaeological evidence even suggests that ancient humans processed plant foods in surprisingly sophisticated ways. Grinding stones found at several sites reveal seeds and starchy plants being crushed long before agriculture emerged. Processing reduced toxins and improved digestibility. Innovation often began with simple observations repeated over generations. Every meal became an experiment. Every generation inherited improved knowledge. Every discovery increased survival slightly. Over hundreds of thousands of years, those small improvements accumulated into enormous evolutionary change. Perhaps the greatest surprise is that growing bigger brains was never the goal. Evolution has no goal. It simply favors traits that improve survival and reproduction under particular conditions. Larger brains happened because they provided advantages that outweighed their tremendous energy costs. Better memory improved foraging. Better communication strengthened cooperation. Better planning increased hunting success. Better imagination allowed tools to be invented before they were built. Each improvement made the next one possible. The food itself did not create intelligence. Instead, nutritious diets supplied the fuel that allowed increasingly complex brains to evolve, while culture amplified what those brains could accomplish. When you sit down for your next meal, it is easy to forget how extraordinary eating really is. Every bite connects you to millions of years of evolutionary history. The starch in a potato echoes ancient roots dug from dry soil. The fish on your plate recalls coastal foragers searching rocky shorelines. Cooked vegetables reflect one of humanity's greatest technological breakthroughs. Shared meals around a dinner table resemble ancient gatherings around glowing fires, where stories, knowledge, and survival intertwined. Your brain remains hungry every single day. It still demands energy. It still rewards curiosity. It still carries traces of countless ancient meals eaten by people whose names will never be known. You woke before sunrise searching for breakfast. At the beginning of this journey, that search seemed like a hardship. Now it reveals something far deeper. For almost all of human history, every meal was an investment in survival, learning, and the future. The remarkable brain you carry today was not built by one magical food, one extraordinary hunt, or one revolutionary discovery. It emerged through millions of years of adaptation, cooperation, experimentation, and countless shared meals that slowly transformed your ancestors into the only species capable of asking how it all began.